The last one was only 1. That was so easy. Yeah? And she was still a baby. And by then I had enough experience also. But 15 to look after 4 kids, come on. I think that's where, because I did ask myself, why did I ever? Because before 15 you're too young to have children, the thought, the wish. And then as I was old enough, I thought, oh no, thank you.
I had enough.
Huh?
I had enough.
I had enough, yeah, really. You need to have attachment for your children, otherwise it's very difficult, I think. Yeah. Or like true love, like a teacher. Then yes. If you have passion for your job as a teacher and you know that you might be able to put seeds in them, don't expect them to do what you're saying, but you might be able to put seeds in them that later on, ripen as values. Yeah? Like, I grew up in Switzerland. I always thought Switzerland's so boring, everybody's so ethical, everybody is kind of just a house, car, garden, dog, family. And so I was complaining about that too. That's why I left also at 15. I was complaining about that to Tenzin Palmo. And she said, yeah, but look what they gave you. They gave you stability. They gave you whatever you start, you finish. You finish what is in your plate. Honesty, things like that. That's where I got it from. Because I grew up in such a boring society where everybody was doing it in a natural way. So I thought, oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. And it's good to have these things natural, in a way. You would never throw anything into nature. No way. It's like, no way. So like this, so it can also, boring society can also have advantage, by the way. So anyway, so this is, why did we get down to the children? Oh, anyway. So yeah, the values. Yeah, when you start to, like the parents who want grandchildren, right? So no, you don't have to fulfill such needs of somebody that, anyway, you give them grandchildren, they still will not be happy, because if they haven't learned to be happy without grandchildren will also not give them total happiness, because then you have to worry about them. Yeah. So, but as I said, respect, kindness, listening to them when they talk, taking them seriously, seeing them, hearing them. Basically, that's what it comes down to. And not bring in your own opinion all the time. Do you know the feeling when somebody asks you, how are you? And then you say how you are, maybe there's a problem, immediately they tell you what to do. Have you ever noticed that? Do you think we do the same thing? Do you think it's respectful? How do you feel when it happens to you? Because sometimes I even say, look, you asked me how I am. I told you. But I didn't ask you to tell me what I should do, because I'm not going to do it anyway. Then I feel bad. People tell me I have to do yoga, well, for the body. Yoga, Pilates, I don't know what, what's it called? Alexander and Feldenkrais, and all these things. I'm too lazy. I liked sports, all these other things. It would be good, yeah. Or the dentist, with cleaning your teeth. She didn't give up telling me what I should. Then I said, look, I don't have interest, so stop telling me. I'm not doing it anyway. And she leaves me alone. She just goes, and that's it. And we became very good friends. Anyway, so there we have like different interests and different likings and all this. I mean, if you want to do all the things to keep your body, your teeth, your ears, your nose, I don't know what, clean and healthy, you have time for nothing else. For what? Then the body dies at the end of the life, and then all the money. Try to sit down and calculate all the money we spend on this machine. Some we have to, but there's also money we don't have to. Decorate it, make it beautiful, this and that. Crazy. For what? The end of life says, I'm tired, get out of here. I've had it. And so much worries and so many thoughts. So trying to fulfill these kind of very basic needs of others, you'll see what happens. Try it out for 1 week, and then look how you feel at the end of the week. Instead of, oh, nobody's fulfilling my needs, oh, nobody's respecting me. You can't force others to respect you, but you can respect others. And what comes in the way, this is what we're going to talk about now, is arrogance. I don't need, and I'm better, and this comparing. So, Tillman says, lacking awareness, fear, and the belief in an inherently existing I gets together with the desire to be somebody special and the aversion not to be anybody special. That becomes arrogance. So it has nothing to do with self-confidence. Yeah. Self-confidence is like, it can also be arrogance. We'll go through these 7 ways of pride. This is why I'm not calling it pride, because something that is called positive pride. But usually arrogance, we need constantly compare with others. We need others who are not as good as I am. We need them as witness. We need their praise. They become our friends, or our friends are stepping stones, like maybe somebody who's famous, somebody who's rich, somebody who beautiful. They have many friends because of what they have. And then when beauty goes, when money goes, when fame goes, friends also go. Yeah. I mean, poor Richard Gere, gosh, when he came to Dharamsala, just as a normal person to listen to the teachings of His Holiness, you can feel the energy around him, and people want him to see them. The same with the Dalai Lama, I mean, it's like, wow, it's enough if he sees you anyway, so that's okay, but and if you see him, it's also good. People ask me usually, do you know Richard Gere? I said, yeah, but I don't think he knows me, but I know him, because he was in our center sometimes, but I was never close to him. But there's these people hovering behind him and all this, and that poor guy, Man, he stepped on my knee at one point. When he came in, because he always came in, like not at the beginning, because all the cameras, and so he was coming in, and he was sitting behind the Sangha usually, and he stepped on my knee. I'm still the same person, even though this yeah. Okay. So arrogance is therefore not fundamentally different from lacking awareness and desire, and contains perforce a tendency to anger and jealousy. People who are arrogant experience inevitable aversion if somebody questions their importance. If they get in contact with that insult, they get angry. Very often they suppress that unpleasant sensation. Somebody calls them stupid, they get angry. If they identify with it, If somebody calls you stupid, yeah, maybe they're more intelligent than you are. It's easy to find people that are more intelligent than I am. So what? It's another thing. Intelligence is being so valued and put up so high in this world. I mean, it doesn't mean that you have a good heart just because you're intelligent, is it? Yeah, and very often intelligent people, they use their intelligence to exploit others. And then after the next life, poof, they plunge again. We shouldn't be happy about this, but still, this is what happens. So if you think you're less intelligent, so what? Let them be intelligent. It's fine for them. But it seems so important. It's a trained brain, that's all it is. Maybe you have good genes, so what? If you don't, so what? I mean, at least now, these kids who are, what's it called, can't put the letters together, who are dyslexic. I mean, they have fantastic qualities, and in general, they have really good hearts. But no, it's so important that you learn how to put these stupid letters together. Yeah, and then they grow up and they don't feel so influenced by this view of others. They become wonderful people. I know that this Boaz from Yod Fat, he's such a beautiful person, and he doesn't hide it also. It's okay. He has so many qualities, it. Yeah, isn't it? Just to be together with him is such a pleasure. He has no arrogance. He's just happy, in a way, relaxed, and And he's dyslexic. And that wasn't being, recognized as something specific when he was young, because he's almost my age. So at least now they see that they're not, how do you say? In English, see, I forget English words sometimes. They're not worth less than others. I mean, we should promote good heart. This is where we can have competitions. Yeah? Publicity for the good heart. That would save the world. Intelligence, look where God is all this intelligence. Yeah? Now with all their intelligence, they don't know how to reverse the climate warming. Yeah. Anyway, but if you are intelligent, be happy. It's okay. I don't want to denigrate you. You see, it was very difficult for me at the beginning because I'm so-called Dharma teacher, which I'm not. People call me that, but it's not my fault. I always tell them I'm not, because I don't have the qualities of a Dharma teacher, like having subdued body, speech, mind. I don't. I'm trying, I'm working on it, but I don't. So I was, then teacher conferences, blah, blah, and all this. This one went to that university, that one to this one wrote that book, this one has this PhD in me. Ooh, I can ski very well. I'd say tennis. I was an alcoholic. Where did you go to school? Oh, you wouldn't know it. I left when I was 15. I felt as if I have to hide it. Yeah? And then it went into arrogance. Then I thought, all these intelligent people at their university, I don't need to go to university to talk about Dharma. So it went into that. I felt superior to them because I didn't have to go to university. And then now it's becoming a bit more normal again. They went to university, they have their PhDs, wonderful. I don't. Also okay. Yeah. As you get older, I think you get a bit more relaxed about them, because when you go to an old people's home, they all look the same. One comes with a golden cane and was Professor such and such, but he totally lost his mind. And the other one maybe was, sweeping the streets, and he also lost his mind. At the end, we're all the same. When we die, we all go from this life, like the Tibetans say, like a hair that you draw out of the butter. There's nothing sticking to it. Yeah. Right, so people who are arrogant experience the aversion. Okay, when somebody calls them stupid, they get angry. Right? The best thing, if somebody calls you something, even they want to insult you, it doesn't matter, but maybe they're the ones who have the courage to tell you what they think. Your friends don't have that courage. So it's also, it's the worst. When somebody comes and says, what do you think of me? Oh, I don't know what to say, especially if I think they're a bit, you know what I mean. How are they able to take it what I'm going to say? Do they want to know? Just don't ask them. At the beginning, I was always kind of going, do you really want to know? Because they know it's nothing pleasant coming. And they say, no. It's okay. But I usually say, well, this is just my view, but it might be wrong, But in general, I don't. I prefer listening to people than to tell them things, by the way. Because I'm not a psychologist. I told you I left when I was 15, school. So if you want to learn how to ski and tennis, this I can. But not anymore, also body is too old. So, but if you really want to know what other people think about you, the best way to find out is that two of your friends are still in here and you're out there and they think you're gone and they gossip about you. Then you know what people think about you. Then it's not going to be pleasant, so be very, very careful, because that can be so hurtful when you start to make fun about people's shortcomings or, and the mistakes they make and this and that. So there is Thich Nhat Hanh's group is very good with the speech. They have to make vows not to talk about others when they're not present. Such a good vow. Unless you want to praise them, then it's different. Say, wow, so inspiring what they did. And every time we praise somebody, if it's not fake praise, a fake praise is no good, don't do it. Yeah, but you always find something to praise in some other people, always. Yeah, like the homeless person in Tel Aviv who sits in the boiling sun the whole day. I don't know if you saw him when he come out of the shuk. So he's usually sitting there. It's a German guy. I sometimes talk to him. He's like a philosopher. He's quite amazing. And so, you know, he's sitting in the boiling sun. He's not even going to the shade. Somebody said, oh, he chooses it. Yeah, well, he might choose it, but it's still not easy. You try to do this? Oh, you'd have a sunstroke by in the evening. So I admire his courage. And he's totally, you know, he's homeless. He says, I have a warm sleeping bag. Israel, very good country. It's not too cold. I sleep in the streets, absolutely no problem. I get enough money to buy food, you know. And then the other day on Friday, because I had been shopping for the Nune, so I had a lot of food with me. So I go towards him because I want to say hello. He says, I have enough food for the weekend already. So I said, oh. So I said, the food is not for you, okay? It's for the Buddhas. But I just came to say hello. They said, all right. Then we talked for a while.
In German.
And because I feel like we're almost equal.
You talk to him in German.
Huh?
You talk to him in German.
Yeah. So I thought, you know, like, interest-wise, we're equal in a way, because we talked about people, kindness, love, things like that. I felt embarrassed to give him money. Because you're not giving money to a friend. Stupid thing. So before I left, I was about to leave, and he says, oh, didn't you want to give me money? So I said, oh, well, thank you very much, because I do want to give you money, because I know he buys wine, you know, he drinks also. So, but he wasn't drunk when I talked to him. So I said, thank you very much that I can give you money, and because I could give him something that he wanted. He's a very interesting guy, and quite a few of them are. Yeah. So even if it's a choice, you can still honor the courage of somebody who made a difficult choice and does it. It doesn't mean it's easy when people make difficult choices. So that's what I mean. We always find something that we find admirable in somebody else that maybe we don't have. Without arrogance, the words would not be a problem, yeah, when somebody calls you stupid. Clinging to the I is the beginning point of arrogance. Arrogance identifies with real and imagined qualities, which do not necessarily have to be your own. We can also identify with qualities of family members. For arrogance, it does not matter if the quality is there or not. It is enough if we believe that it is there. It can even be faults that we can be proud of. A thief can be very proud that he's good at breaking in. A liar can be proud that everybody believes his lies. Same goes for faults of others, like, for example, to say my son beats up everybody who does not agree with him. Arrogance always finds something to cling on, even if it is the complete absence of qualities. I am the worst of all. So in Tibetan Buddhism, this also goes into arrogance, because again you think, wow, I'm the best at being bad. Through that, we also become somebody very special by being very bad. If somebody points out that there are others who are worse, we get angry immediately, a sure sign of arrogance. You know, sometimes there's this competition of suffering. Like we want to, somebody tells us how they are, and we come with other stories that's much bigger than their suffering. We do it maybe because we want to help them, but it's, for me, again, it's a lack of respect. It's like what you want to make the person feel better, to see, hey, what are you complaining about? There's others who are in much more space than you are. I don't know. Okay, so then there's the 7 ways of pride. This is quite interesting. This is from the Lamrim. I think in the Lamrim Chemo you also find it. Well, you said Lamrim. In the Lamrim Chemo you find these 7 ways of pride. The first one is arrogance, the belief that you're very superior to people who are equal. Leads to haughtiness and expresses itself in impertinent, aggressive behavior towards those who are equal. With small, spiteful remarks, we try to put them down. If not directly, but to somebody else when we talk about them. Can you recognize something? Yeah? Only in others, not us, no, we never do these things. like kind of being happy, pointing out other people's negative sides. We have to check the feeling when we talk about these things. We can talk to other people about the negative sides of people, but check your heart. Is it going to be helpful? What do I want to achieve by saying this? And is it kind? Yeah, why does this other person need to know about what I saw? Do they need to know? Then second is condescension, a feeling that you are very superior to the ones who are not as good as you. It's accompanied by an attitude of I have to lower myself to put myself at your level. Ooh. You recognize something? Talking to a homeless person? Do you feel equal? No. Isn't it? I felt embarrassed. He was sitting and I was standing. But for me, the street was too dirty to sit down. I have to say, I wasn't as courageous as he is. But he had a couple little mat. But I felt embarrassed to stand and to talk to him like down like this. But why? Because I knew him. I knew his ideas. I knew his views. So again, I needed to know who he is in order not to put him down. We are so convinced to be a lot better that it seems a great favor to even answer them. A snotty way of talking to them is a clear sign of us being convinced that we are so much better than them, often mixed with contempt for those who have less qualities than us. This happens sometimes also with spiritual practitioners, family members, friends from before. They say, oh, but I can't relate to them anymore. Well, they're worldly interests and they're just interested in clothes and good food and like this. And then these people call themselves spiritual practitioners, talking like this about other people that were exactly the same as they. They were exactly the same as them. Yeah? Have you ever heard yourself say these things? Oh, I don't have nothing to say to her. Don't have to say my interests anymore. And you, of course, my interest is much better than yours. Well, it's all worldly. Yeah, so you need to be able to laugh about this so that you're not embarrassed or, ashamed or something like that. There's no point. But we do that. Then, disdain. We feel superior to those who are better than us. Looks down on others who have more skills, expertise, etc. The ego always finds something to put other people down, yeah? Like prime ministers, yeah? It's like one that is now, that maybe you want him to stay, it's okay. But if the other one who might be coming, we only see negative sides. We cannot see any good in him, and we feel superior. We feel superior to our prime minister if that one becomes prime minister.
In Israel, it's true.
Huh?
In Israel, it's true.
Yeah, exactly. That's the arrogance. Yeah, it's just to see the attitude that we have zero respect. I mean, he must have some good qualities that I don't have. Otherwise, why would he have been prime minister for so long? Now you really know whom I'm talking about. But they might not let me into the country next time. So, okay, we do not want to see our faults nor the qualities of the others. Somebody who knows everything better. Oh yeah, there's those ones. The smarty panties, I usually call them. They have something to say to everything. Giving advice for everything. They always know what to do. Oof. If you find that I'm like this, please tell me. Because these people really get on my case. But it could be that I'm like this also because they get on my case. Sometimes they say it's a mirror. So if you find that I'm also doing this, just say, hey, yeah, please do, if you're courageous. I don't know how I will react. We do not want to see our faults in this, nor the qualities of the others, somebody who knows everything better. If you are new in a group, you do not look for the qualities of the others, and immediately you take the lead. That's something that I have, actually. if because then I end up with duties that I didn't really want, but people think I'm so able, they just give them to me. So there you go. This is where this arrogance can lead you. They think you can do everything, and then have to try really hard, and usually it works. So if somebody cannot express himself properly, one also takes away all other qualities like handicapped people. Yeah, it's amazing how when people are physically handicapped, immediately we put them into the category they're also a bit dumb, isn't it? Drastic stuff. I went with somebody who was in a wheelchair, but she had a baby, so she asked me to come with her to the doctor. The baby was still very small. I said, "Oh, I don't know how to handle babies. Do you really want me to come with you?" She said, "Yeah, it's in the pram. You just push it. I go with the wheelchair, and the rest the doctor will do. It needed an injection." So the doctor knows that she is the mom, and he talks to me, giving me advice. I said, "Look, I have no clue about babies. Don't talk to me. She is the mom." But it came out so natural that, well, he will tell me and I will tell her or something like this because she will not understand anymore. Wow. Crazy. So we have to be careful also, when they cannot, especially with older people or people who have had a stroke. The mind's still totally there, but they're not able to express themselves. You need a lot of patience and always think, this could be me. How do I want to be treated? Most of the people who had a stroke, they were at one point just like us. They didn't plan to have a stroke, it just happened. And it can happen to everybody. But we have a thing to, a feeling of supremacy blocks our ability to learn. It is impossible to teach somebody like this. Then supremacy, a form of disdain. We take ourselves for just a little inferior to somebody who is very superior. We meet these people and think, well, I do not have far to go. Soon I will be better than you. We see the qualities of the other, but do not see the huge difference between us and them. There is no disdain because it is not possible to ignore the qualities of the other. So we're not putting them down because it's so obvious that they have more qualities than us. But we think, yeah, it's now you're better than me, but soon I'll get there also. Conceit. One thinks that one has more qualities than there actually are. A lack of being connected to reality that is present in all forms of pride. The difference here is that one does not need others to compare, just the view of oneself. We can be proud without the others. I can live totally alone on an island and still think that we have enormous qualities, like I'm very courageous, compassionate, patient, etc. There is no limit to that. As long as my imaginary qualities are not put to test, I can continue to believe in it. Yeah. Arrogance is very dangerous because when it's put to test and you fail, wow, then you need to hide it, you need to lie, it always comes with a lot of other negative stuff as well. Admitting mistakes, how easy is that? Very easy. Huh?
What mistakes?
Very difficult. Why? Why is it so difficult? What do you think? It's a question. Anybody who wants to answer can please answer.
If I pretend to be perfect, failure is a crack in that suit.
Pretending something. Yeah.
Everything can
Okay.
fall apart.
That is one hindrance of admitting mistakes. What's another hindrance?
Because we fuse the act with our identity. So if I've done something wrong, it doesn't mean that the thing I've done is wrong. It means that I'm bad or wrong or inadequate or something like that.
Yeah, okay. That's another one.
We used to blame the people that make mistakes. And once we make mistakes, it's become paradox. We need to blame ourselves.
Yeah.
We don't like it.
Don't like it. What's another reason?
I feel like a fool.
Huh?
I feel like a
You feel like a fool.